Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Dubai, Season 1, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Sarah is at home with her son and they're cooking together. And she tells us she's been raising him as a single mom and she doesn't do it how his dad wants because in their culture, they promote toxic masculinity, as we all know. And I'm happy that she's teaching him equality between men and women. And it's okay to show his emotions because men and boys are human too. I love that she's making sure that he's well-rounded. And she also said that she's trying to introduce him to things from the culture like eating lunch and dinner on the floor. But her son ain't having it. Her son was like, no, I don't want to sit down on the floor and eat my food. I'm so sorry, child. Honey, he wouldn't have lasted growing up with my grandma because let me tell you something. In the summertime when all the kids would be over there, she was not sitting us around a big table. Baby, she would put something down and we would all get down there on that floor. I don't know if that's just what used to go on in the 80s, honey, in my grandmother's house, but yeah, that's what she used to do. But I had no idea it was a part of the Arabic culture. In the next scene, Caroline and Lisa, they go for dinner for a little mommy's night out. And let me just say this. These women are beautiful. They are just so pretty. So Brooke said, she's known Lisa since she was pregnant with Max. And she's like, yeah, we bonded over our Jamaican roots. Meanwhile, Lisa is in her confessional. She's like, Brooks is something different every week. 1 week, she's Afro-Latina. 1 week, she's African-American. 1 week, Jamaican. The next, Emiratis. She don't know what she want to be, child. She has MPS, multiple personalities syndrome. You know what it's given? It's given Dorit. They may be great friends, honey, because they can get together and decide who they want to be that week. They might need to be friends. And child, now Lisa making up an entire syndrome for Brooks. Child, this is a mess. So Brooks shows a picture of Nina's Instagram page, right? It's her and Caroline Stansberry. She's shocked that they're such good friends. Brooks, why do you care? Why? Why on earth do you care about them being such good friends? Child, Brooks knows she messy, don't she? Beautiful and messy boots. She was like, well, she used to talk so much mess about her. So in the confessional, Lisa said when Caroline first tried to befriend her, Nina would warn her to stay away from her. And she would say like disgusting things about Caroline. And she's like, I'm not even going to repeat them. And then she proceeds to repeat some of them. So she said she called her ghetto, ratchet, trashy. Well, I don't know about that because on The Ladies of London, she wasn't ghetto, trashy. I don't understand. That's not what she was given. But honey, it might be something that we don't see, okay? She said, and those are just the good things. Like, I didn't even say everything. Ooh, child, I would hate to hear the bad stuff. So then they started talking about her and Ayan. And Brooks is like, look, we got a love-hate relationship. We love each other 1 week. We hate each other the next week. But at the end of the day, we gonna be cool. And basically, they're frenemies. And child, Brooks is a mess box. Do y'all hear me? A mess box. Moving forward. In the next scene, Caroline is having some of the ladies over, so Brooks arrives first, and Caroline is trying to tell her that she's building a house, honey, and Brooks is barely paying attention because she's paying attention to this dog. And so then she tells us that, she's building her dream home, and she said in Dubai, it is hard to buy a house. It's a whole other ball game. She said you can't get a mortgage if you're self-employed, and you have to put down at least 30 to 40%. Damn. Listen. Dubai wants to make sure the scammers stay out, okay? Because, you could be misappropriating funds and people buying houses and cars with fake money, honey. It just don't make no sense. That is strict, though. The self-employed restrictions alone let me know that I will not be able to buy in Dubai, okay? So I can just go ahead and scratch that off the bucket list. Moving forward. So then Sarah shows up and Caroline is telling her about the house that she's building on the water and how she didn't expect to stay in Dubai that long, but she loves it there. So Sarah is basically telling us in the confessional that majority of the people in Dubai are expats and, they're just co-living right now. So then they started talking about that heated dinner that Nina threw. So Brooks was like, I was just really hurt by Ayan because she came for me and I was not expecting that. Girl, You called the lady and told her that she was unimportant. So how did you not think she was going to come for you at that dinner? Brooks, girl, anyway, she was like, but I just know that she has a good heart. So then Sarah is like, well, I think it's trauma that triggered her. And so Caroline is like, trauma from not being invited? She said, no, probably from the past. So, I just want to have a talk with her and see what's going on. She's like, I think we should leave her better than the way we found her. I love me some Sarah. When I tell y'all I love me some Sarah 4 now, because we were just in episode 2, I love that. I think I'm going to adopt that, or try to adopt it, honey, when applicable, okay? Because it don't apply to everybody. Sometimes you got to just chop people off at the knees. But if I can leave you better than I found you, then that's all good. Moving forward. So Caroline is like, no, okay? I don't need to accept her time, her energy, or any of that. I know she got trauma and whatnot, honey, but I ain't got time to be dealing with that. In the next scene, Ayan shows up dripping. Came through dripping, drip, drip. Shout out to Cardi B. She came through dripping for lunch with Nina. Child, she's sitting there talking to herself. I look good. I'm beautiful. I'm great. And now that I've seen the rest of the episode, I understand why she does that now. She's speaking life into herself. She's speaking positive words of affirmation to herself because she never got that growing up. It's starting to make sense. But if it's one thing Ayan gonna do, honey, she gonna judge herself up, honey. She gonna pat herself on the back if she don't do nothing else. But I want to say this. I would never make it in Dubai as a housewife in comparison to Ayan, dressed as if she just got done with a photo shoot. Ayan, that wig is horrible. Okay, I just want to let you know, girl. This the second episode that's been a fool. Okay, if we gonna come through dripping, then we gonna need to have them wigs dripped as well. Now, when Nina shows up, that's more my speed, okay, for a casual lunch and whatnot. Maybe that's more my speed. Ayan is wearing these $1,800 Givenchy boots. I swear they feel like anything with a label means it's cute, and it does not. Just because it's attached to a brand does not make it the business. It does not make it something you should put on your body. Child, those Space Cadet boots, some things were awful. Well, honey, that's just my opinion. So then Nina, in her confessional, she was like, I don't need to wear my wealth. Okay, I wear what's comfortable for me. So then Ayan, in her confessional, she's like, I'm the queen of fashion. I'm like Rihanna. And Nina is like mashed potatoes, no butter, plain. Girl, how about we all wear what we want to wear? Also, every franchise, there's a housewife that deems themselves the queen of fashion. And I'm just sitting here listening to Ayan. I wonder how Marlo feels about Ayan's fashions, honey, because she's a sucker for a label, okay? So they order a few drinks, and they start talking about their Thanksgiving plans. And so Ayan apologizes about the argument that was happening at Nina's dinner. And she felt like Caroline kept saying, I don't like you, and she couldn't understand why. And she didn't understand why Nina wasn't taking up for her. So Nina was like, I don't even recall that, because it didn't happen that way. Ayan putting a little stank on it. She was sitting there quiet after you brought it up. When you said you were going to make a toast, you brought it up. You started fussing back and forth and back with Brooks. Then you made the statement that Brooks said that Caroline said you were unimportant. After all of that, Caroline agreed. That's what happened. So Nina's like, why do you even care about Caroline? In her confessional, she's like, don't invite her to your next event. Okay, Even Stevens. Child, I have not heard Even Stevens in years. Do y'all hear me? So Nina said Caroline said that she thought that they were cool, but then Ayan came in guns a-blazing. How did Caroline think they were cool and she was the only one not invited to her hen party? This stuff not adding up, child. So Ayan is like, guns? Because I'm from Somalia? No, Ayan, honey, it's just a figure of speech. It's nothing directed toward you. It's just a figure of speech. So Nina said, no, it has nothing to do with where you're from. She was like, of course it does. We have a lot of guns. Oh my God. I was trying not to laugh. But girl, this ain't got nothing to do with you being from Somalia. Nina said, well, I'm from Texas. Honey, they act a fool out here, okay? Ayan said, okay, well, don't mess with us. Oh, child, Ayan is truly a character. Oh my goodness. So Ayan tells her that Caroline triggered her. And the past with her dad, it really makes her angry when people say that they don't like her. And I understand your past traumatic experiences and whatnot triggering your response, but everyone is not going to like you, Ayan. Let's be realistic. Everybody is not your person. We don't all have to get along, and we don't all have to like each other. Also, let me run it back one time for the one time. I forgot to mention this. In the scene with Caroline inviting Brooks and Nina over, Sergio was sitting right there. Sergio, you ain't got nothing else to do? You don't have no friends? It's giving very much Simon, Real Housewives of New York, season 1. Remember when he always used to be with his wife, sitting amongst the ladies, and Ramona used to be like, why is he here? That's the same thing Sergio was doing. Sergio, find somewhere to go, honey. I let you slide with the hen party because you didn't want to have a whatever it is that y'all have, a bachelor party. But now you're here. And boy, if you don't go. So Ayan was like, you know what? When that happened, I went home and I cried because I felt like the little girl that nobody liked. I understand that. But, you know, we're grown now. You have children. You have a husband that loves you. Outsiders' opinions really shouldn't matter. So Nina tells her that she feels like her and Caroline just misunderstood each other. She said, I didn't like her at first either. But then I talked to her and then I gave her a chance. So then in the confessional, Ayan was like, yeah, I see Nina for who she is. A flip-flopper, a skyscraper, climbing the mother sky. And she's also very boring. Ayan. Baby, Ayan in these quotables, she will literally string together some words to create a sentence. Oh, child, this is a mess, honey. Not a flip-flopper, skyscraper, climbing the motherfucking sky. Oh, child, this is a mess. So Ayan is like, well, I can't give her a chance because I just don't know. I feel like she's going to be manipulative. So Nina said, just put the flames out. Ayan said, there's no flames. It's a volcano. Girl, moving forward. In the next scene, Caroline and Sergio go to try on jewelry. What does Sergio do to afford a $6 million necklace? Child, she ain't getting that necklace. And then she look over to him and he crying. Child, probably crying because he hoping she don't fall in love with it because he know he can't afford it. Anywho, in the next scene, Lisa and her son, they go grocery shopping, and she tells us in Dubai they have pork in a totally different part of the grocery store, and you have to be non-Muslim in order to enter. I'm actually loving learning about what it's like in Dubai. I love when they give us jewels and tell us what's different from what's happening over here. I love it. So she's shopping for her Thanksgiving meal, and while she's shopping, Nina calls her. So child, she going on and on and on about meeting with Ayan, and she was talking for about 20 minutes straight, right? I'm not answering you in the middle of me shopping. I'm just not. I will call you back when I get in the car. Filming or no filming, honey. And since her son was behaving, Lisa was like, listen, you can have one Oreo because you've been behaving. So she promised him a cookie, and he took full advantage of that phone call. Baby, he was Oreo wasted. Do y'all hear me? Baby, he was eating cookie after cookie. I was like, look at this little cookie monster. I was like, look at this little cookie monster. So after she realized that Nina was going on and on and on, Lisa was like, girl, I'm going to have to love you and leave you for just a moment. I'll call you back. My son is just having a field day with these cookies, girl. I got to go. In the next scene, Lisa is preparing her Jamaican Thanksgiving meal. Meanwhile, Nina and Sarah and Nina's husband and children are having lunch in the sky. Listen to me. I want to go to Dubai and I want to have lunch on that thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to research it and I'm going to do it. Okay? I want to experience that. Child, that seemed like such a moment. Side note, Nina's husband is so handsome to me. I said, yes, ma'am, y'all make a beautiful couple. So she's telling us about her holidays growing up and how she basically learned how to speak English by watching all my children. Honey, Erica Kane and we'll teach you something, okay? It is amazing to me how we all had to watch the stories with our grandmothers as kids. Do we all have the same childhood? So her husband is telling Sarah that he started as a banker. He owned a hotel, but then he sold all of his businesses when he learned about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. I am so lost when it comes to either of those things. Child, I have tried to go to YouTube University, dropped out, did get my diploma, honey. I don't even think I made it to the next grade, honey. It just ain't happening. I am so lost with all things crypto and Bitcoin. Like, I know people are making money, but I'm just not quite sure how they're making money. So Nina is telling Sarah the story of how her and her husband got together and her cousin basically hooked them up. And she said that when they got together, he had absolutely nothing. And, you know, they were in a 1-bedroom apartment together, just trying to make it work. And he would fly to America oftentimes to see her. And I'm thinking to myself, not coming from Dubai to America, but he ain't got nothing. But then he just sat here and said he owned a hotel and he was a banker. Child, okay, the math ain't mathing, child, but that's neither here nor there. So Nina was telling them that she was in toxic marriages, but, you know, she feels like soon she's going to have her dream man. I can't do marriage number 3. I can't do it 3 times. 2 is enough. Like, at this point, I just want a life partner. I want somebody that I love. I want them to live in their own space. I want us to court each other for eternity. That's it. That's all. Moving forward. In the next scene, Ayan and her family and Mr. Billy Goat Gruff, they show up to Lisa's house for dinner. Ayan, not a goat for a Jamaican. Girl, even Lisa was like, we would do all kinds of things to this goat, child. It's not right, but it's okay. And Lisa's like, girl, what am I going to do with this goat besides make it a pet? So Ayan said she brought her a goat because in Kenya, if you invite someone to your house, then they should bring a gift. And in her culture, goats are so important. And when you get married or engaged, they give you a goat. So because she had her back the other night and she just loves her some Lisa, she brought her a goat. Oh, that's sweet. But honey, I don't know if I'd be able to keep that. Because keeping up with them kids, honey, that's enough. That's just more work. I mean, the gesture was very sweet. But y'all know what? It could be giving Lisa Vanderpump and Dorit scandal. Remember when she had that dog and she took it back to the pound? Oh, child, please don't let her release that goat. But the goat released himself, child. Because towards the end of the night, the goat was like, I need to get free. I need to go. The goat was gone. So Ayan said Lisa is always there for her and she just loves her. Okay, they're like sisters. So they sit down to eat and they're talking about their friendship. And Ayan is talking about how she met her husband and how great he is, how he makes her feel protected. While they're in the middle of talking, the goat decides to take a dip in the pool. Okay. Get the goat together. The goat doesn't have anywhere to be. Like, y'all should have, like, I hate to say, because it's an animal, I hate to say time up, but what you gonna do with him? So then Ayan tells Lisa about her lunch with Nina and how she was basically taking Caroline's side. So Ayan was like, well, I didn't understand that. And Lisa said, well, she's closer to you, right? And she said, yeah, but it didn't seem that way. She said, when someone shows you, this is what she said in her confessional, y'all, their blue color, why try to turn it orange? It's blue. Okay. Ayan really needs a book of all these sayings, okay? Not when they show you their blue color. I've heard about someone showing you their true colors, but not their blue color. She said, and that's on period dot. Oh my goodness. Not that's on period dot. I'm going to start saying that. If you don't like it, honey, that's on period dot. Oh, child. I say this to you, Ayan. If you don't like Caroline and she don't like you, just stay away from her. That's it. That's all. In the next scene, Ayan goes to visit Sarah and she's still bearing gifts. She said because Sarah has many layers, she brought her onions. Baby, onions, a goat? Ayan go to one more house, she gonna make a full-on meal. So they sit down to talk and they're both talking about their childhoods. And Ayan said her dad was a great father until he got tired of being a father and he left. So she had to help her mom out and basically do everything. So Sarah asked if she was going to forgive her dad. And Ayan was like, no, not right now. So then she started speaking on all of the horrific things that he did to her. He tied her to a tree in the rain. He beat her. He tried to marry her off at 14. He blamed her for his life being bad. Oh, child, that is, oh my God, it's just so heart-wrenching. She's like, I just don't know how I can forgive him. Like, it's been 26 years and I still cannot bring myself to forgive him. It's going to be for you. The forgiveness is going to be for you. And I understand because our parents are supposed to be our protectors and our providers until we're able to do those things for ourselves. And the fact that the first man that was supposed to love you treated you this way, I could understand how it would be hard to forgive him. So she starts crying and telling Sarah that her husband makes her feel so special and so safe, and she's never really had that before. So at the dinner, when they kept saying she was unimportant, it triggered her. So Sarah tells her about, her past marriages and how she was abused both verbally and physically. And she was like, I really wanted to be loved and I would do anything to be loved and to be liked. So she wants Ayan to open up to her so she can help her. Because once she's healed, then she feels like Ayan's life will change. Ayan needs to get some therapy for that childhood trauma instead of $6,000 shoes. Instead of dripping in Givenchy and buying Birkins, you need to get some therapy. Okay? Like, I relate to you being triggered and not feeling love from your father. Sadly, I can relate to that. But you need a licensed therapist. So Sarah said coming out of those situations, she was easily triggered. And when you're triggered, you bleed on people who didn't cut you. Baby, when I say, Sarah, you better speak your speech. See, I knew I liked Sarah. I like Sarah, girl, if that wasn't the realest thing. She said she wants to introduce her to her hypnotherapist. And Ayan was like, well, Brooke said that she had therapy as well, but I feel like, why do I need to go to that? I mean, I think Brooks needs to get a refund. Oh, child. I have heard about hypnotherapy, but I've never thought that it could work. Because I'm like, somebody being hypnotized, that's not real. Y'all comment down below and tell me if you've ever done that. And that was the end of the episode. But I really do want to know, have you ever done hypnotherapy and does it work? Because I don't know what it is, but for me, I just feel like, child, I'm not going to fall into a trance and then start doing everything you say after you snap your fingers. I don't know if it goes that way, but that's just what I saw on TV. So I don't know. Comment down below and let me know exactly what you thought about this episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share it with a friend. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.